guys? Welcome to the 2025 New York Auto Show. My name is Parker Nierenstein. This is Vehicle Virgins, and today I'm going to show you the top 10 coolest cars of the event. How cool is this, guys? A 2025 Fiat Topolino. Unfortunately, it's not available in the US. It's European and other markets. It's not even considered a car. It's an all-electric quadricycle, and I'm in love with the design language. Look how cool those taillights are. They're almost Cullinan-esque, but the proportions of this are absolutely awesome. And it even has suicide doors that open from the front here. Get a load of how quirky the interior is. I love those hollowed-out seats. Fabric elements on the dash. Let's go ahead and hop in. This thing is absolutely awesome. Glass everywhere throughout the cabin. I'm absolutely in love with this. This would be so much fun to drive around in Malibu. Check this out, guys. Genesis's all-new X Grand Equator concept, named after the finest Arabian horse in the world. It's both a off-roader and a luxury SUV. We've got 24-inch beadlock wheels in the front. Really cool design language. Signature Genesis dual LEDs, but the real magic is in the interior. How cool is this? The rear opens up with event-style seating, kind of similar to the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. That is a pretty cool place to have a picnic or a tailgate. Checking out the rear seat environment of the X Grand Equator concept. Look at those dual-tone rear seats, the gorgeous center console, and integrated water bottles. Now, one of the unique features of this car is it's got 4 different sunroofs with gorgeous contrasted stitching in between. Looks like a really nice place to be. Look at the kind of crystal glass switchgear right here. Let's check out the front. Taking a look at the front seat. Once again, those gorgeous two-tone seats, the 4 different moonroofs. But look how intricate that steering wheel is. Different drive mode selectors and different terrain modes on the right dial. These gorgeous digital kind of 3 pods in the instrument cluster. We've got some different widgets over there for the off-road modes as well. We also have integrated water bottles down there, leather wraps on the pedals, gorgeous switchgear, and then kind of this glass switchgear here on the door. I love the storage elements right there on the passenger side, those 2 little leather bags. This thing is stunning. This is called the Chevy Bright Drop, and it's an all-electric van with a hidden surprise. Come on inside. Look how cool this interior is. We've got a full kitchen. We've got a shower setup, a little living room area, and a full bed. That is awesome. Check this out, guys. The all-new Genesis GMR 001 hypercar set to compete in WEC in 2026 and IMSA in 2027 with the ultimate goal of winning 24-hour of Le Mans. It's powered by a twin-turbocharged V8 making 671 horsepower and 2,200 pounds. But the design language is gorgeous. It's also unmistakably Genesis. We've got 2 LEDs right there that continue along the sides, nice dive planes, carbon fiber front splitter. We've got an open area here to reduce turbulent air from the front wheels. Massive central roof scoop, singular windshield wiper blade with a nice little vent right there. Continues down to that shark fin down the center of the car. Coming around to the back, we've got massive LEDs. This thing is absolutely breathtaking. And then get a load of the exhaust tip placement right above the engine. Carbon fiber wheels. Get a load of those brake discs and how little the clearance is between the discs and the wheels themselves. Cool to get a close look of the intake manifold setup as well as the headers and twin turbos. They're supposed to have the engine here, but unfortunately it didn't make it in time. But that is what powers the new Le Mans hypercar. And they've also got a scale replica of the car right here, which is really cool. Can't even imagine how much this thing costs. Can you imagine having one of these in your house? And then get a load of all of the buttons on the steering wheel. So this is pretty cool. First time seeing the new Lucid Gravity, an SUV version of the Lucid Air, up to 828 horsepower and 450 miles of range. This thing actually looks really good. I love the stylish wheels, roof rack. We've even got a surfboard mounted atop there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of the Gravity. I actually really like the design language of the interior. This curved display kind of reminds me of the Porsche Taycan. Really, really nice leather seats, ambient lighting. Let's hop in. Super uniquely shaped steering wheel as well. I actually really, really like that. Central touchscreen display. Nice dash material and that wraparound ambient lighting. It's really elegant. Like the Tesla Model X, we have this wraparound windshield, but it's kind of cool. It's split into two sections divided by where the rear view mirror is. I really like that. And then look at that massive panoramic sunroof behind it. 3 rows and plenty of space. Next up, we've got the Hyundai Ioniq 5N Time Attack spec. We first saw this at the Nürburgring last year, and it was about to get ready to set a hill climb record, which it actually did for the electric SUV and crossover segment. So it's based on the really awesome Ioniq 5N. It's got 677 horsepower, obviously significantly more aero than the road car, but the same powertrain nonetheless. We've got upgraded wheels, upgraded brakes. Obviously the aerodynamic elements have been severely increased for more downforce, but pretty cool to see the 5N become a time attack car. And I imagine some people in the future are actually going to start using kind of stylistic elements from the TA car in a road car. Could you imagine this thing driving on the road? It's a little bit low though. This car is absolutely wild. The Subaru WRX Project Midnight, 670 horsepower, only 2,500 pounds, but the design language is absolutely out of this world. Somebody needs to make a road-going version of this. It looks so darn cool. Look at those canards, the vents in the hood, and then these side aero elements over the wheel arches are so trick. Next up is the Rimac Concept 1. So I've driven the Nevera, which is behind me, but it's crazy to think that the Concept 1 came out in 2013. It was the fastest accelerated car in the world at the time. 0 to 60, 2.5 seconds. It would go on to accelerate quicker than that after 60 miles an hour, 1,224 horsepower. And it's ridiculous that now they've moved on to, in modern day, over 1,900 horsepower with the Nevera. Still to this day, it's probably the fastest accelerating car I've ever driven. Certainly the fastest accelerating OEM car. A couple twin turbo Performantes might have been a little bit faster, but the fact that this does 60 to 130, cars are getting so fast nowadays that 0 to 60 is not really even the metric anymore. It's more 60 to 130 in 2.99 seconds is outrageous. That's a seriously built car to achieve something like that. I first saw Rimac at the Geneva Auto Show, RIP to that show. That was one of my favorite events of all time. And it's cool to see how the design language has progressed from the original one to the more modern one. Honestly, really like the way this looks. So Hyundai has just released the new 2026 Palisade 3-row SUV, and it is the only 3-row SUV that has both over 300 horsepower and better than 30 miles per gallon. This is the XRT Pro variant that's lifted by an inch, has an electronic limited slip rear differential and all-terrain tires to allow it to actually off-road. But the real magic of this car is in the interior. This is the hybrid variant of the Palisade, which has upwards of 629 miles of range and 329 horsepower. I actually really like the LED daytime running lights. So taking a look of the interior of the new Palisade, we've got heated and ventilated seats in the first and second row, massaging seats in the first row. We even have a leg rest that extends out here for the driver and passenger side. We've got a wireless charging port here, massive curved display. Nice looking steering wheel as well. Tons of room in the second 2 rows as well, and dual panoramic moonroofs. Now they showed us a bunch of different specs during a presentation earlier, and there's a calligraphy version that has this beautiful all orangish brown interior that really elevates things. I'm kind of noticing this front steering wheel looks very familiar to Range Rover. The XRT Pro variant definitely accentuates the lines a lot more with this matte paint finish. We also have tow hooks in the front and rear of the vehicle, but there's also some stylistic elements that are different in the interior, and this one has a V6 as opposed to the hybrid setup. So taking a look at the XRT Pro interior, get a load of the seats. They've got kind of this terrain mountainous pattern, which I think is pretty cool. You can see a bit of the ambient blue lighting there. We first saw this Kia Weekender concept at the LA Auto Show, but it's too cool not to show again. An all-electric concept meant to go in the outdoors, off-roading and camping. The interior of this and how it expands is unbelievable. I absolutely love that rear-facing seat. The door panels, look, it comes with all of this equipment to go camping and picnicking. And then the rear opens up in such a unique fashion with that tent on the roof. The front end of this is so good looking. I love those LED daytime running lights, and you'll notice you've got these wires up by the windshield. That's to cut branches to make sure you don't shatter that front windshield. You've also got that LED light bar on the top, and of course, that tent up there with solar on the roof. The wheel design is really trick as well. I hope they actually come out with something like this in the future. Obviously unlikely, but it'd be so cool. Okay, this is easily the best part of the entire show. Subaru has an area where you can pet dogs. I love that. Something that I didn't actually realize is the New York Auto Show is the oldest auto show in the United States. It started 125 years ago. Pretty crazy. So as I mentioned, it's the 125th anniversary of the New York Auto Show. So they've got a pretty cool lineup, starting with a 1909 Cadillac and 1910 Ford Model T, going all the way to present day. Let's check out some of the vehicles. One of my favorite cars of all time, the 300 SL right here. Love the split window Corvette. It's really cool that they brought that back for the new ZR1. Nice Trans Am. We've got a DeLorean. NSXs have been going up in value like crazy recently. And then we've got the hypercar that started the hypercar race, 2006 Bugatti Veyron, 1,001 horsepower. Interesting that we've got the Chevy Volt in the mix. And then a nice GT3 with the plaque that says GT3 RS. That's kind of a fail. So I just reviewed the Revuelto, but this might be the highest spec one I have ever seen in my entire life. We've got carbon fiber on the side blade here, but the crazy part is the carbon fiber roof that extends down to full carbon fiber around the engine bay, a carbon fiber rear spoiler, and a carbon fiber rear diffuser. It also has different seats than the one I reviewed. These are the sport bucket seats, which look a lot more aggressive. But the spec on this is absolutely incredible. There are some seriously cool cars in this Manhattan Motors booth. 250 SWB, and then behind it, we've got the Tedson Motors 911. They flat six, 2,500 pounds, and some absolutely stunning design language. I love the vented hood, and then look how meaty those rear fenders are with that ducktail rear spoiler. That is gorgeous. Another absolutely crazy car, the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT Y-Sock package, 0 to 60, 1.9 seconds, 1,019 horsepower. And because this is the Y-Sock package, we've got that awesome rear wing, different suspension setup, and we even have the interior rear seats removed in a sedan for the ultimate on-track performance. Always cool seeing the Mustang GTD that set a Nürburgring lap time of 6 minutes and 57 seconds. They are back at the ring right now. I imagine because the goal was to beat the GT3 RS, which they didn't accomplish. So it'll be very interesting to see if they come back with a much quicker time shortly. All new 2026 fully electric Trail Seeker from Subaru. It's got over 240 miles of range, capable of sprinting from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.3 seconds. You can take a look under the hood, some of the electrical components. Completely new platform for the car, longer than the Solterra. Let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. Very uniquely shaped steering wheel, touchscreen infotainment. Taking a look at the rear of the Trail Seeker now. I can't say I'm in love with the design, but the performance is pretty cool. We've got two final edition cars from Toyota, the Mark V Supra Final Edition with 382 horsepower, some cool stylistic cues, and a manual transmission. And then we have the GR86 Yuzu Edition. Only 860 of these are going to be made. It also has some unique design elements from the standard GR86. A lot of black highlighted accents, manual transmission, nice yellow contrasted stitching. What do you guys think? Are the final editions worth the money? Well guys, there you have it, the top 10 best cars of the 2025 New York Auto Show. Special thanks to Genesis for flying me out and hosting me for the event. It was an awesome, awesome trip. They had some really cool reveals. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you next video.